Hey guys, I hope you can see me and hear me okay. So I just wanted to give you a refresher from the session last week about questions, chunking. So these are so important. I really want you to get these embedded into your minds. So it's those five questions that we talked about. Who, what, when, where, and how. Okay, and these are the biggest tool in your toolkit. They form the basis of everything that you need to uncover information, to gather information about your client, about what their intentions are, what their goals are, or what the problem is, or what the block is to them achieving their goal. So the five questions: who, what, when, where, and how. They do not need to be used in that order, okay? So they can be used in any order. They don't all need to be used. You don't need to use every single question when you're working with somebody to find something out. Sometimes just one question can uncover a lot of information, can be very, very illuminating, can just be really powerful. So you don't have to have all of the questions. You can use any one question or any combination of the questions. You might just need the what and the when, you know. What do you want? When do you want it? How are you going to achieve it? Who needs to be involved? You know, where is this going to take place? This is how we start to build a mechanism for somebody to get clear on what it is they want, how they need to do it, because they become specific through asking these questions. But we might just say, for example, if somebody comes up with a statement about reality and we can see that there's a belief running there, we can say, how do you know that's true? Or where did you get that belief from? When did you decide to believe that? Who told you that? You know? So we can just use one of these questions to cut through the surface language to get to an intention or a program. So when we're coaching, we're working with using these questions to either chunk up to the highest intention, which is always a goal, and it's based on values mainly, and it tends to be more conscious. So they're consciously aware if you ask what they want. Where do you want to be 5 years from now? You know, very, very powerful questions that draw out what somebody's true intentions are, what do they want. So that's working with a goal. And somebody might come to you as a client with a goal, and that goal could be anything. It could be, you know, I want to get clear. So you're using the coaching tools to help them get clear, based on their values, based on those areas of life like we looked at in the wheel, and then building goals around them. And these questions are how we gather that information to raise awareness. Somebody might also come in with a problem. So they come in with a goal, so we're chunking up to the highest intention to build a vision of what they want using these questions. Or they might come in with a problem. And when they come in with a problem, that's like a mental health problem. You know, depression, anxiety, anger, a behavioural problem, so a problem in their relationship, a problem in any area of life, as we saw on the wheel. You know, they might come in with the problem that I'm not clear and I don't know what I want. So then we're helping them to know what they do want. Well, what do you want? What would it feel like to know what you want? You know? So we're chunking them back up again. But when they come in with a problem, they're coming in with mainly a mental health issue. So we're looking at therapy and we are chunking them down, because problems, mental health problems or blocks, are program based, okay? So we're chunking them down to a program, down to the center of a program. Remember what a program looks like. We've done the program model from self-reintegration. It's a subconscious program, okay? Programs are subconscious and they are blocks to getting clear. They are blocks to achieving what we want. They're blocks to success. They're blocks to us becoming what we want, having what we want, doing what we want. On the outer layer of the program, remember, it's stories, control dramas. How do I control this narrative to make excuses for myself? Underneath that, if we strip that back a layer there are coping strategies, defenses. If we strip that back a layer, we get to beliefs, core beliefs. I am, people are, the world is. And if we strip that back a layer, we get to the emotions, the raw emotions, and that's the glue that holds the program together. And that's about the what's happened, how did it feel. So to work with a problem, like a mental health problem or a block, we're working with a subconscious program, and therefore we're using questions to chunk down as deep as we can go with it. What's holding them back? What's causing their problem? Is it a belief? Or is it an emotion? The most powerful programs are held together with emotion. So they are the ones that require the most work, the deeper work. So we use the questions in any order or any combination, one or more, as many as you want, in any order, the right question at the right time, okay? And we do that to chunk up to the highest intention. What do they want? Based upon their values, okay? And you also use them to chunk down to a subconscious program. What's getting in the way for them? Or what is the problem? Okay? If somebody comes in with the presentation of, I want to achieve X, Y, Z, we're chunking up, okay? And then we're working through the blocks, and to get to the blocks, we're chunking down. Cool? If somebody comes in with a problem, i.e. a mental health issue, or a problem in an area of their life, relationships is a very common one, we're chunking down to get to the core of the program that's driving the problem. See how this is all linked? And when we're chunking down, we chunk back up, and we chunk down and we chunk back up. We're chunking up and we're chunking down. But all of the time, we're using questions to gather information and to raise awareness, because we can't change what we're not aware of. Okay? So that's a little bit of a refresher of the 5 questions. And I want you to start weaving those questions in to everything that you do through this work. All right? We'll do some more exercises through this. Just to give you a quick example of how this might fit with getting clear, for example. Say if you want to start a new business or a new career, or something that you want, a new adventure, but you're not entirely sure about what it is or how to achieve it. We can very simply use these questions to get clear on what that is. And when we're clear, we can then communicate that clearly. And this is something that is very important in areas like being self-employed, for example. You know, if we want to get clients, we need to be able to communicate clearly what we can do for them. And in order to do that, we need to understand that for ourselves. So we'll do a little exercise on this on Thursday. And that's going to be something like, okay, so what is my new venture? Who are the people that I want to impact? Where are those people and where is this going to take place? When am I going to start? And finally, we can go with how am I going to achieve this? And you see how this breaks it down, so we can address every single area and we know what we've got to do with more clarity as we go through the process. But it's the questions that gather the information about anything. If we're working with a program and somebody comes in and they say, I'm not happy in my intimate relationships, for example, and we say, okay, so what are you doing or what are you telling yourself that is creating these results? And they start to see the behaviors. What am I doing? Am I pushing away? Am I doing too much of, am I being desperate? Am I avoiding? Am I selling myself short? All those kinds of things. So we get to the behavior and then we chunk down even further. And we ask questions like, when did you start doing that? And they say, I've been doing it ever since I broke up from my last partner 5 years ago. Okay. What happened? Well, we had a really messy breakup and etc, etc, etc. Wow, I'm sorry to hear that. That's, I can't imagine what it must have been like for you. If you don't mind me asking, how did it feel at the time? I was devastated. I was really hurt and I was angry for such a long time. Okay, I can really feel that. We're using empathy, and we're being in the moment with them and really getting in tune with how they're feeling. And we're picking up that they've had a wound here that they haven't healed. How much of that emotion have you processed? Not very much. I have had so much to do and I've just been so busy with work and all of my commitments that, I've had to kind of like bottle it up a little bit. Okay, I'm really sorry that you've had to do that, but I understand, and we can repress emotion for a reason. Perhaps now it's time to start letting some of those out and processing them out so that we can get you clear so that you can get what you want. How about that? Yeah, that would be amazing. They're going to be, emotion's going to be coming up in them, okay, and you're going to be with them. You're going to have processes to help them start processing and channeling that out and releasing it, okay? What did you start to believe about yourself that you may or may not be what, or that people are or they are not what because of these experiences? Well, I started believing that I am never going to find love again, or, I started believing that men are all bastards, or women are all cows, or whatever. This is you've seen that narrative before, right? And this is how people push the experience away that they actually want. They want a loving relationship. They want that connection, that deep companionship and spark and everything that goes with it, and that partner for life. But because of a past experience, the emotions, the beliefs and the behaviors, they're subconsciously pushing it away. So we chunk, they come in with a goal. First we can engage them with the values of, okay, so what are the top 8 things that are most important to you about the person that you'd want to attract? We might not want to necessarily do that straight away because we might want to chunk down to the program and figure out what's the emotion that's driving it. Clear that, and then say, right, now you're clear, let's look at your values and let's work with what are your top 8 or your top 10 values, what are the top qualities that you'd look for in another person, because they're going to be more clear. They can go, and then you can help them to determine what they are through the values work that you've learned how to do, and how you prioritize those values, get them out on the wheel, whatever. Be confident that you know how to do this. It's not going to be perfect every single time, but you have to work intuitively and use that intuition to give you the answer that you need in the moment to help your client. But when you connect to them, you'll feel it. And we use these tools to get down to it. What's in the way? Okay, now what do we want? Yeah, we're creating a clearing. We're creating a clearing so that we can help people to create and ourselves, obviously. So there's a little bit of a refresher about the questions, and I'm aware that I may have gone on too long, but they chunk up, they chunk down. Okay, up to the highest intention, down to the program. What do we want? What's in the way? What's the problem? What do we want? Okay, and I'll see you guys on Thursday.